Right now, the Home Depot has spring deals under $20. So no matter what you're working on, the deals are blooming at the Home Depot with savings on plants, flowers, soil, and more. Then light up your outdoor space with Hampton-based string lights. Was $34.97, now only $19.99. And get the grill going with two 16-pound bags of Kingsford charcoal. Was $19.98, now only $17.88. Don't miss spring deals under $20 now through May 7th at the Home Depot. Subject to availability, valid on select items only.
I want to get to Caitlin Clark and Asia Wilson in a second with JuJu, but Greg Cody, before we get out of here for the day, Stugotz was telling me that you have some sort of addendum to your statue edict from last week. So let's not get out of here before we get. You want to reappraise the audience of both what your statue edict was and what the addendum now is?
Yeah. I felt a little bad last week, and I appreciate the chance to maybe clarify a little bit. I used Don Staley as an example to say that in sports, I believe we have too many statues in sports. I think the statue should be reserved for the elite of the elite. And Don Staley's very good. South Carolina loves her. She's a great basketball coach. She's won, I think 2 championships. I don't think you give a statue for 2 championships. I don't. The example I would use is Greg Popovich, 5 championships, and now retiring only for health reasons.
So you tip for 1 or 2 days, or you don't tip for 1 or 2 days, but you do on the 3rd, and you don't give statues for 1 or 2 championships, but you do for the 4th and the 5th.
Yeah, because you got to draw the line somewhere.
Makes
right?
sense.
You got to draw the line somewhere. I think Popovich, to me, is a statue.
Okay, got it. So the old white guy gets a statue, and the young black woman does not.
Oh, here we go. Okay. I was thinking in terms of 2 championships versus 5.
Okay, but
also,
also,
if Staley's career ends with just 2 titles, does she deserve a championship? Because I think doing it while she's still coaching is probably what bothers you.
But I also said what I said
it's
was
premature.
What I said was accurate, though. Correct?
That Popovich is white and Don Staley is black?
Yes.
That would be very accurate.
Thank you. That's all.
Okay.
You nailed it.
Okay.
But what are you implying there? I'm using numerics. I'm going 2 championships versus 5.
I also love this because she has 3 championships.
Does she? Okay, so she's getting close. She's getting
She's
closer.
1 away. Yeah.
She's getting closer. Would I give 3? No. If Eric Spoelstra had won all 3 championships for the Heat, is he deserve a statue? Not yet. 3 championships. Not yet.
I mean, in fairness,
In my opinion, I'm just giving my opinion.
You took Wade's statue away last week. You did.
Well,
yes.
I want
He's taking away black statues and giving them to white men.
I want a statue of Wade that looks like Wade.
That's fair.
But Wade only won 3 championships. Did he deserve a statue?
I said last week that he didn't, and I didn't mean that as an insult to Dwayne Wade.
Enough of this. JuJu is waiting, and he should not be kept waiting anymore. As Greg Cody takes away statues.
I think I want to stay here.
Okay. All right.
I want to just tell my brother Greg, I love you, brother. You're my brother. You feel me? But I think more than the championships, what Don Staley means to that sport, what Don Staley has done to South Carolina, what South Carolina was before she got there, the example she set to black little girls everywhere that you can be, the people she's led, Asia Wilson, Lisa Gray, she's had more of a cultural impact and just a global impact as far as her being especially a former player. Just her impact is what deserves a statue more than the championships. You feel me?
I do, and I think while I think that's arguable, I think you make a great point. And by my
what's arguable?
What he just said, equating to a statue, I think is arguable. But I think he makes a good argument.
But I would say that would be more reason to give someone a statue than championships. No? Do you think I have it wrong when I say?
I think it's a combination of everything.
But no, when I say giving of statues, though, I can give anybody a number and say you deserve a statue. And I could do that with anybody. But cultural impact, isn't that what statues are for?
I think for me, statue is you have been a success and an impact for eternity. You deserve to be remembered in statue form 3 generations from now, forever.
For impact, for championships, not impact.
I think part of the problem is she is still coaching.
So
I think
Don
Greg feels like statues are reserved for people once they retire.
Don deserves to be forgotten, then, is what you're saying. Greg Cody, Don Staley should be forgotten.
No, I'm not. I just think there are too many statues in sports. I happen to use her as an example. I think it's premature. I don't think it's not deserved. I think years from now, at the end of her career, when you should look back for a statue, not during a career, I think she may well deserve a statue. Do I think she does right now? I don't, but it doesn't mean that she's any kind of a failure at all. I just think
excellent.
Too many
so
statues.
She's not a failure.
Greg, how about Manu Ginobili? Manu Ginobili helped lead the Spurs to 4 championships as a player.
Yeah.
Manu Ginobili, does he deserve a statue?
I don't think so.
I agree.
How about Rocky?
No, again.
What?
That's a good example of who doesn't deserve
What about Lady Liberty?
A mythical statue. It's a mythical figure is getting a
Heavyweight
statue.
champ.
What about Ted Williams?
The Statue of Liberty.
You could make an argument for Ted Williams. Yeah.
With or without the head?
Jackie Robinson, Babe Ruth.
Yep.
There's a Hank Aaron deserves a statue.
People from your era.
Well, okay.
Jackie Robinson, Greg, in your argument, only won 1 championship.
And Ted Williams has none.
Yeah, but
what cultural impact did he ever have?
Jackie Robinson?
I'm not sure. There's no record of it.
Okay. All right, now you guys are being silly. I'm just saying this.
Just saying, let it play out. He needs to see the overall body of work.
All I'm saying is there's too many statues in sports.
Yeah, you said that a couple of different times.
Okay,
and you
I
just
didn't
kept
think it was controversial. I think if you put it on your poll, most people would agree with me.
At
There's too many
Lebatard
statues
show,
in sports.
are there too many statues in sports? Let's get back to actual sports. Caitlin Clark, she returns to Iowa, and a logo 3. You think that Buddy Hield is changing the sport. You understand that people are now. I'm legitimately, when I watch this Celtics-Knicks series that's coming up, I urge you guys to continue to be confused by how far Karl Anthony Towns is from the basket when he's shooting the basketball. Caitlin Clark logo 3s, JuJu, clearly you're here for them.
Yes, I am. And Caitlin Clark 1,000% deserves a statue in Iowa, because where the hell would Iowa be? That's that girls' basketball team without her putting them on the map. But yeah, bro, her and the Fever returned to Iowa yesterday, the alma mater. I think that's a great idea by the W. You feel me? Like letting the players go back to where they are grown and where people love them the most, and take their professional team and have exhibition games. They beat the brakes off of Brazil, but nobody was there for that. Even after the game, Brazil was asking for autographs and TikToks from Caitlin. She just overall is a positive person for the entire sport, and I can't wait to see what she does this year.
JuJu, you mentioned Brazil. I wanted to ask you guys a question. I learned something else over the weekend other than getting stopped on my bicycle by a police officer, that could happen. I learned that a female artist or an artist of any kind could draw more than 2 million fans in Brazil. It's the most ever by a female artist. But when I saw that, I'm like, how is there more than that? 2.5 million seems like a crowd that would be the most that have ever gathered for anybody, any kind of artist. But also I learned, and I did not know this, Copacabana, a real place. I did not know it was a place in Brazil.
Get out of here.
I didn't know it was a real place. I did not know it was a real place. I
Wow.
thought it was just a song.
Surprised you would admit that.
Man, when's the last time you read a book?
At Lebatard Show, did you know Copacabana was a real place?
I would love it if the percentage was 93% of the people knew that was a real place.
Being all show to drop that line back at him.
LeBron, can you tell me, JuJu, what it is that you did with the polls today? Do you have them on you? Because I have to get to this. You did not have them on you. Hall of Fame, the Hat Hall of Fame. I've got to conclude that for the day. What do you guys have for Hat Hall of Fame?
Pharrell Williams.
Yeah. Wow, that's good.
Oh, so it's not. So we're not doing just sports, because everything before that was just sports.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Heisenberg, Breaking Bad.
Winston Churchill, the famous Homburg.
Fred Durst.
Solid. Fred Durst, great.
The tiny little blue hat on Hey Arnold. Yeah. Remember the little blue hat between his hair? No?
Not a first balloter, but
The Cat in the Hat.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Dan's Kangol when I first started working on the show.
I did have a Kangol.
You had a Kangol
What?
face. Yeah.
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson had a Kangol, right?
Do we have any
Steve Martin.
video of
Steve
that?
Martin.
Steve Martin wore a Kangol?
Yeah. He wore a hat too, actually. Come to think of
He
it.
did
Sorting
wear a
hat in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Also wore an arrow through his head.
Yeah.
Prop comic.
Steve Martin.
Juju, what do you have for polls today?
Before I get to the poll, I got just a couple things, you feel me? Get them out quickly. Billy, I 100% agree with you about pedestrians. Like, watch where you're going. Because if I make a mistake, yeah, you have the right of way, but you'll be right on your way to hell or heaven if I hit you with a car.
And then I go to jail.
Exactly. Right. Pay attention to where you're going, pedestrians. Also, snitches get stitches. Why we bringing up Dan's tickets on the air? Like, she's just
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Juju, because I'm surrounded by spies and what you.
Crocodile Dundee.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Cody,
Yeah.
what are you doing dancing around because you revealed my outstanding ticket on the air? How could you be
That was
happy
just my
about
people
that?
working behind the scenes. I didn't even do
To
it.
betray me?
Yeah, I mean, we're all here for the
more of
content.
I mean, for what it's worth, we're all betrayed on this show every day. So.
Yes, it was more of a
Ain't that the
reminder, Dan, that you have an outstanding ticket. Pay it. You know, we don't want you to get arrested.
I thought
Yeah,
it was
we just
two.
want
I
good
told
for
you
you.
guys I got 2 tickets, one in a school zone, and I thought
the
maybe
school zone.
I only
School zone.
paid one of them.
You
You guys
racing
said that
through a
the best
school zone.
time to be speeding is after being caught speeding, and I was telling you I got caught speeding the other day, and then got another ticket in a school zone right then after.
Imagine you speeding through that school zone and little kids on their bikes running stop signs.
Seriously.
Yep.
What kind of world would we be
That's
in?
unbelievable. So when you say, "Do you know who I am?" the cop really doesn't buy that, or how does that work?
Barack Obama's White Sox hat.
Oh, Ken Griffey Jr.
Bad.
Also, last week we said that Zaslow was the person that you heard first say, ah. That actually was pointed out by hundreds of fans that was on Wayne's World. So I think Zaslow got that something from Wayne's
Oh,
World.
so he just stole it and made it his own.
For sure. Absolutely.
Journalist
Surprise there.
Laszlo.
Proud of him.
And speaking of the fans, of course, I can't be here and not ask the question that all the fans want to answer today. I'm sorry if this offends everybody, but Stugotz, I got to ask you, Celtics, Knicks, what is your prediction for your team?
Oh boy, I'm so scared to say this, but I feel good about the Knicks' chances.
Oh wow!
I did, like Jaylen Brown is banged up. Tatum appears to be a little bit banged up. They have Al Horford. We don't. That could be, a deciding factor. I think the Celtics in 7. I think it's going to be a very, very close series.
But that's
Nice.
that's not actually believing in your team. That's
It is believing in my team.
Well,
I don't want to say what it is I want to say. Fine, I'm going to say it. The Knicks in 6.
Wow!
The words don't mean anything if you do it after the making it the Celtics.
I didn't want to
in
jinx
7.
it. I promised certain friends I would not jinx it, and here I am.
I don't
jinxing it.
believe
Yes.
that at all.
I didn't promise anyone.
Why do you lie so much?
That is just.
filling time,
I
Roy,
promise. We're not
to fill
filling
time, yeah.
time. We're doing the JuJu segment.
Yo, chicken
Hey, ask me a question.
Friends, don't ask you. We're not surprised. Prediction. They don't know why you do that. Not surprised at all.
So if you keep track at home, I have the Celtics in 7 and the Knicks in 6.
Pick the Celtics in 7, Knicks in 6. That doesn't. We don't have a prediction.
Frosty the Snowman's hat.
Oh, it's a good one.
The MAGA hat.
You know what?
That hat has to be in there, guys. I know it's controversial. It's in there.
I'm objecting to the first Zagaki I haven't liked.
Really?
I'm the 6th Zagaki, and I'm the worst one. I knew it.
You're a
I knew it when I went to air with it.
Zagaki. Because you don't believe it in your heart. Because you're a fraud, Zagaki.
Yeah.
You wanted
Frizaki.
to say you didn't want
A fake
you
Zagaki.
just wanted the attention, and you hated that you had to do it with the MAGA hat, but you wanted to try a Zagaki.
was a good joke, though.
Because you feel left out. That you're not a Zagaki. Yeah, everybody else has got a Zagaki, and you don't have a Zagaki.
Zagaki.
Does Greg Cody's feet look like the devil's feet?
100%.
94% of the audience says yes, they do.
Oh,
Those 6%.
Okay.
Please, love
Is Slade a modern term that kids say?
Oh, boy.
69% of the audience says yes, it is.
Nice.
He's been making that sound. This is why I didn't understand where the whole old dolly came from today. The whoop whoop is the sound I've been hearing when he's right since the 50s.
I am
Sound
lit
of the
right now,
police.
man. I am lit.
Should everyone be talking about Buddy Hield today?
Yeah.
65% of the audience says yes, they should.
Thank you.
Great set of teeth on Buddy Hield, by the way.
Put it
Chompers.
on the poll at Lebitard Show.
You're right.
Great set of chompers on Buddy Hield, question mark. Yes or
There's a
no?
statue. Buddy Hield.
Is Big Shot Bud a good nickname? 57% of the audience says no, it's not.
What about Big Shot Bob, which is also what he called Buddy Hield inexplicably?
Well, I said the B in Buddy stands for Big Shot Bob.
There it is.
Thank you.
Can you be back if you never arrived? 67% of the audience says no, you cannot.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do you answer the phone on the weekend?
Hell no.
63% of the audience says no, they don't.
Wow.
Right. Have you ever spelled the word restaurant right on the first attempt? 55% of the audience are liars and they say yes.
Split on that.
Close vote.
Right. Are you keeping an eye on Aaron Judge?
It's just wrong. It's unfair.
You have to.
Right. 58% of the audience says they're not, though.
Woo!
Dang.
Wow. Surprise.
Right.
Should start.
Upset.
Is Jimmy Goldstein's hat a Hall of Famer? 62% of the audience says yes, it is.
Another statue deserved.
Yeah.
Goldstein.
Can you get a DUI while riding on a bicycle? 86% of the audience says yes.
Not if you're Dan.
You're willing to give an old white guy's hat a statue before Don Staley?
Two Americas. Sorry, Greg. I love you. Listen to the Greg Cody podcast featuring Greg Cody.
Yeah, thank you, JuJu. Appreciate that.
Last poll. Did you know that you could get pulled over for running a stop sign while on your bicycle? 67% of the audience says no, they did not. And those are your polls.
Victory for Dan.
All right. Hey,